tabs with him to see just how this develops. And of course, on the other side of the country, that is at Kakamega County, the same exercise was taking place, and we have our senior political affairs reporter, Duncan Khaemba, who now joins us from Mukumu Girls in Shinyalu constituency. Many thanks for keeping us up to date all throughout the day, Duncan Khaemba. And what is the latest from there? Do we have results streaming in yet?
Sharon, in fact, as I'm standing right here, there's a commotion outside the gate. Some supporters that have been chanting as early as 7 p.m., but they cannot be allowed to get in, and not even the security personnel, that is the police, but we have around 5 Morans that guard this school, and they were given specific instructions that only vehicles ferrying in ballot boxes and identified agents get in. So there are Morans here who guard the school that are very, very specific. Then on my right, I think around 300 meters is where we have the school's main hall. That is where the tabulation of the constituency results supposed to be taking place. But we've just come from there, nothing happening. In fact, the election officials, perhaps the returning officer for the constituency is not there, so nothing happening. Then something interesting, sitting area member of parliament, Samuel Nami, has been here as early as 6. But the other opponents, the other candidates are not here, and no much happening. In fact, very few vehicles have driven in to bring ballot boxes. So we are not so sure what could be happening. So as we speak, what is supposed to be the indication of various presiding officers from several police stations across the constituency are supposed to have started arriving, but that hasn't happened yet, Sharon.
All right, so we'll give you more time to try and assess the situation to find out whether this exercise is taking place beneath the tight security that you have defined for us. But let's just talk about the dynamics of this particular nomination exercise. What exactly is at stake for ODM even as they conduct this particular exercise?
Well, for over 10 years, ODM has been enjoying support, if we can term it as total support, because you remember that in 2013 general election, this particular region had one of their own under the UDF party, Musalia Mudavadi, who was vying for presidency, of course competing with the likes of Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. But nonetheless, Raila Odinga's ODM party had the highest support in this region, both at the presidential level and even at the constituency level. We're talking about, of the 12 constituencies here in Kakamega County, ODM managed to bag 6 constituencies, defeating even UDF, which had 5, because of the 12, ODM had half, that is 6. Then UDF had 5, that makes 11. Then Matungu had Newford, Kenya of David Were. So that tells you what could be at stake for ODM in this particular nomination process, because it has to make sure that it gets it right. First of all, to defend its territory of the 6, then perhaps conquer more territory if it wants to increase the number of elected members of parliament, and that is at the parliamentary level. Of course, remember that the governor of this particular county, the deputy party leader of ODM, is elected on ODM, and then perhaps having that one as well, then they could be looking at the senatorial one that is held by Ford Kenya's Boni Khalwale, but now he will be seeking another position altogether. So on top of the 6 plus the governor and then the woman representative, ODM would want to make sure that this process perhaps becomes a success, to ensure that it not only defends its territory, but it conquers more territory, Sharon.
Right, Duncan, and had the officials indicated what time we can expect the results to be, formally announced?
We've been trying without success to try and get hold of the returning officer for Shinyalu constituency. Of course, he's supposed to be here waiting for the presiding officers from all the polling stations, but he's not there. Then, as I indicated, area member of parliament, Samuel Nami, is seen making frantic calls since 6, and they can't be getting through to anyone because they are at a loss. Of course, the returning officer is supposed to have laid the table and beginning to receive results from the presiding officers that are coming in, but that is not happening. But of the 12 constituencies, a tight contest is expected, particularly here in Shinyalu, because the sitting area member of parliament is facing stiff challenge from the man that he defeated in 2013, that is Justus Kizito Mugali, and who joined ODM just the other day, having been a member of initially UDF and then went to Jubilee briefly. Then he has crossed back to ODM and now wants to get back his seat, and that is one of the areas that will be hotly contested. Another area is, of course, the Huisero constituency. Kakamega County Woman Representative Rachel Ameso has decided to go for that particular parliamentary seat. And then the sitting area member of parliament, Benjamin Ndai, is also there. And then there's Benjamin Andolwa. So that will be another area that will be hotly contested. And again, Lurambi constituency. So those three areas, and not forgetting Butere again, could be some of the areas that we'll be expecting a lot of dramatic results tonight, Sharon.
Right, many thanks, Duncan Kayemba there, just joining us from Shinyalu constituency tallying center. We hope we can get more communication from the party officials down at the ground from the